This is a complete meal, and I hope it works out. It looks like an awful lot of stuff, right? But there are the collard greens. Shave them really fine like that. It'll just be easier to work with. Then we have nice and healthy dried fruits here, cranberry, apple crisps, and apricot. Notice the apricot, dried apricot, slice them as thin as you can. They'll be easier to chew. And then we have everything that gives you great flavor. Celery, carrots, onions, peppers, garlic. I'm using elephant garlic because I couldn't find the peeled one, so I went that route. Zucchini, little cherry tomatoes, and broccoli, nice and healthy. Everything there is healthy, everything. Now we get to the bad stuff. But you know what? Gotta have a feel-good meal today because I just want to have it. So we're using Israeli couscous, and you know that that's pasta made with white flour, but you know, it works well. So that's one of the bad things. And then to make it even worse, to use up what I have in the refrigerator, I found some heavy cream and a nice bag of cheddar cheese. 50% less fat, but I can't tell my wife about that. Anyway, it's going to be like a casserole, complete meal. And we're going to start sautéing the things that take the longest, which is the celery, onions, carrots. Hold back with the garlic and the zucchini and the peppers and the tomatoes. The collard greens will go in with this, and so will the broccoli. When everything is said and done, then we toss in the dried fruits, which are all healthy, and we'll see if the ratio of pasta to all the vegetables worked out the way I expected it to. And if there's too much vegetables, that's okay. So let me get started. In goes the butter. It's about 2 tablespoons, but not alone. And then the extra virgin olive oil. Well, that's an easy 1/4 of a cup, or 1/3 of a cup. But it needs it because the couscous, and be very careful when you boil it, you don't want to overdo it because then it'll all be sticky. So it has to be firm, al dente. So in here, let's put everything. We said everything is just going to get cooked nice and easy. There's no rush. Everything is diced up small for the simple reason the couscous is small. Now if I was using like fettuccine, spaghetti, something, and making something similar to this, I would cut all the vegetables julienne, and they would wrap themselves around the pasta. If you cut julienne for this, it just wouldn't mix as well. Now, we have to season this, so we'll take, you do this to taste. Make a nice mix like I do, salt and pepper, notice? Then you don't have to worry about how you season it, just season it. Seems like a lot, but don't worry, it's not. Once this is done, I'm going to wait a few minutes for the pasta because it doesn't take that long, and I'd rather have this ready first, the vegetables. See how nice the collard greens are when they almost looks like it was basil. And cook with a high flame. Now, if you wanted to use any herbs in here, you can. I'm not using any at all. I'm herbed out right now. Not that I don't have any, I just don't feel like I want all the natural flavors that are here. And that'll be good. Now my water for the pasta is going. Let me shut the film off now. No sense in watching this. This is going to take about 5 minutes. I'm going to add the broccoli and then we'll see the other items to add to it. So to help cooking this a little faster, put a lid on it. Why? We're not looking to brown the vegetables, so they will cook in half the time, covered like that. Now since we have a lid on it, see the steam coming out? You don't need to really cook it all that fast. Now it's up to you. You want al dente or you want everything nice and soft? It doesn't matter. It's your preference. You will be the one eating it unless you invite someone else over. The carrots are already done. That didn't take long. Camera's only been off for a couple of minutes. Now we have the broccoli. I'm liking the colors I have here. Too bad I didn't have more broccoli because I would have used more. But that's what I have. Put the garlic in. And then when I tasted the carrot, I also tasted the amount of salt and pepper I had in there. But I'm going to finish this off later with some sriracha hot chili sauce, which has become very popular. Now we're going to add the other items. And the last item will be the tomatoes, because we don't want mushy tomatoes. The peppers. Now we're getting some nice color in here also. And the zucchini. Now the only thing left are the peppers. And at this point, since this is just about ready, we'll close this up. And now I will put the pasta on. Now this has only been 2 minutes. I had the cover on. Now this is done. Just one more time to taste now. Because don't forget we just added the broccoli. I don't want to taste the broccoli. I want to make sure the seasoning is good, because the salt and pepper, well, the salt brings out the flavor of everything. So don't be afraid to use it. If this was just for me, I would put no salt. But my wife is eating this. And my dog is not eating it. Maybe that's why he's barking. That's good. Now all the dried fruits. Mix this up. We're going to have a little sweetness in there from the fruits. Now it looks great. And I'm guessing that the amount of pasta might work out, and if there's too much vegetables, then it's even healthier. And I don't know how many people this is going to feed yet until I mix everything together. So we'll shut this off. and wait for the pasta. And we're not going to rinse off the pasta. You cook it and you throw it right into here. See, I enjoy this little pot here, and I play dangerously, so it came to a little boil, and this will boil right over, and all the couscous will go all over the place. So I lowered it. I tend to like fill things up to the top, but you need a lot of water. And I will say offhand that this will work out just right, the amount of pasta I have with the vegetables. So I will cook this, drain it, and put it right on top of here. Taste this water. Just another pinch of salt in there, because each item, the vegetables plus the pasta, have to be seasoned. A little more salt. You just can't boil a pasta with no salt and have no taste, and when you add it to the vegetables, the flavor is not going to be there. So just remember, everything you cook separately all has to be seasoned. But if you're doing it for me, I wouldn't put any salt in there or here, because all the flavors are just fine, good enough for me. But usually you don't just cook for yourself, so you have to think of the other person, and whether or not you like it, think of the other people. And that goes for people that are in the industry. You have a lot of managerial people that are selfish and only think of themselves when it comes to menu items. I remember years ago I was told by a manager, don't put any more filet of sole on the menu, because he didn't like it, but I ignored him. That was like 20% of the sales on the menu. Just one of those little stories. Okay, don't waste film. This will cook a little bit firm, and then we'll put it in there. And here's the pasta. Oh yes, perfect. I could tell already the amount. And notice, not sticky, not overcooked, because you'd be in trouble if you did that. Now, into here, while I'm doing this, let's get the heavy cream and the cheese. Now, I would say you take this and put it in the correct casserole dish, but you know what? I am so lazy that we're going to rough it. I'm going to, since this doesn't have a plastic handle, it can go in the oven. So we will measure the amount of heavy cream, and this is all I have, and it's been started already, so whatever it is, it is. But I know that that's 1 cup, and there's a little bit more here. Oh, is that nice? That's 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Now I'll get the sriracha hot sauce. This you do to taste. That should be sufficient. And as we mix, we'll see if the ratio is good, which it is. So the amount of, now these last 2 items that I'm adding, you don't have to add. The heavy cream and the cheese. You can just take the couscous with all the beautiful vegetables and fruit and sit down and enjoy a meal. But I didn't put any butter, so I held back on that. Oh, I did put butter, that's right, but I didn't, there's not a lot of butter in there. Nice. Wow, this is enough for 1, 2, I would say 3 people. This is the dinner. This is it. So you taste this. I have one more optional item. It just hit me. I'm not even going to put this on the recipe, but I like soft and crunchy. So I keep these in the freezer. Toasted almond slivers, because both me and my wife love to eat them, and they're healthy. So we'll just add that for the crunch. And then on top of this, I will put the cheese. And you have to cover this with cheese to protect the pasta. So take that cheese. And I think this might be enough because it's 8 ounces, so nice and easy. Well, that's plenty. Get around the edges. And I have also, that was cheddar cheese, and to give it a little more cheese, because everybody loves cheese, I have this Parmesan, which is, I'll put it all. It's not grated, it's the shaved. And that's it. The next thing you're going to see is it coming out of the oven. Setting the oven extremely high so it just melts the cheese and everything else is warm. If you were paying attention, did you notice that I forgot an item? I always tend to do that. So it's an easy fix. The tomatoes should have been folded in at the very end, but we can't put them on top, and we're not going to fold them in just plain like this, or else you have to put some olive oil, because they'll look good now, and some salt and pepper. Just mix this up. And now it'll look more like a pizza. This will go on top. We have nice color. Sometimes you could fix a little error, but other times you cannot. Okay. No harm done. We're going to get ready and go in the oven in a couple of minutes. It's getting up to temperature. So now we're going into the oven at that high temperature, figuring 10 minutes. Now, let's check it before the time. It's now 7 minutes, and we'll see what it looks like. That's it. Don't forget, everything was already hot. And all you want to do is melt the cheese. You don't want to brown it so it looks like something crispy. Now, I don't want to ruin the presentation too much, but let's see how this feels. How's that? So how many oh my God, there's so much in here. This little bit double was probably enough for a slim lady. So we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, I think about 8 portion there. But you know what? You could, if you wanted to, this will hold in the, if you wanted to make this the day before, then you would put it in the oven, let's say at 300 degrees, not at 480, whatever it was that I had it in. Otherwise the outside would burn, the inside wouldn't be that hot. And see how this tastes. Oh, that's nice. I like that. All right. Pretty. Hope you enjoy it.